I will never forget the day my husband stood in our living room, the very room where we had celebrated birthdays, Christmases, and late-night family movie marathons, and announced, almost casually, that he was selling our house. Not because we were moving to something bigger or better. Not because it was the smart financial decision. No, he was selling it to buy a house for his mistress. My world stopped spinning. The words hung in the air, heavy and cruel, and I remember staring at him, unable to process the betrayal in his voice. His face was calm, as if he had been rehearsing this moment for weeks, while mine burned with the sting of humiliation and heartbreak. "It's better this way," he said coldly, pacing across the floor like a man making a business deal instead of ripping apart his family. "You'll be fine. I'll make sure you get something small, manageable. This house, it's wasted here. She deserves it." She, I whispered, though I already knew. Her, the woman I had suspected but never confronted. The woman whose shadow had lurked behind his late-night, work meetings, and mysterious phone calls. The woman who now, apparently, was worthy of my home. The home I had built brick by brick with him, sacrificing vacations, working double shifts, and clipping coupons to make mortgage payments when times were tight. And now he wanted to give it all to her. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Not in front of him. He was expecting that. Instead, I stared at him with a calmness that surprised even me. Inside, my heart was shattering, but my pride refused to let him see me broken. That night, while he slept in the guest room, a choice he had made weeks ago, I sat at the kitchen table and thought about everything. About the years of loyalty. The sacrifices. The dreams we had built together. And I realized something that shifted everything inside me. He may have betrayed me, but he would not destroy me. The next morning, I made him breakfast. He looked at me with suspicion but ate it anyway, smugly assuming I had accepted my fate. I smiled, nodded, and listened when he talked about the future with her, as if I were nothing more than a discarded piece of furniture. But deep down, I had already made my decision. For weeks, I played along. I acted the part of the docile, defeated wife. I let him believe he was winning. I watched as he moved money around, as he whispered into his phone late at night, as he boasted to his mistress that soon, she'd be living in our house. Meanwhile, I quietly gathered documents. Bank statements, property papers, every legal thread that tied that house to me. Because while he had been living in a fantasy, he had forgotten one very important detail: the house wasn't his to sell. It was mine. When we first bought it, my parents had gifted me part of the down payment, and my name alone was on the deed. He had been so wrapped up in his pride back then, claiming he didn't care whose name it went under, that he had signed it away without a second thought. Now, that mistake would be his undoing. The day he marched in with the real estate agent, ready to put the house on the market, I was waiting in the living room. Calm, dignified, a manila envelope sat on the coffee table in front of me. "What's this?" he scoffed, rolling his eyes as if I were wasting his time. I slid the envelope toward him. "Open it." He pulled out the papers, his eyes scanning over them. At first, he looked confused. Then his face drained of color. "What is this supposed to mean?" he stammered. "It means," I said firmly, my voice steady, "that this house is mine. Not yours. Not ours. Mine. You signed it over years ago when you said you didn't care about whose name was on the deed. And now, you have no legal right to sell it." The silence that followed was the sweetest sound I had ever heard. His arrogance melted into disbelief. The real estate agent awkwardly excused herself, sensing the storm brewing inside our walls. He turned on me then, his face red with rage. "You can't do this. You'll regret it," he shouted, slamming the papers onto the table. But I only smiled, standing tall for the first time in years. "No, the only thing I regret is wasting so much of my life on a man who thought I was disposable. But you," I paused, meeting his furious eyes, "you're the one who's about to lose everything." That was the moment the power shifted. He couldn't sell the house. He couldn't force me out. And when I filed for divorce, I had every piece of evidence of his infidelity, every bank transfer, every late-night text. His mistress didn't get the dream home he promised. Instead, she got a man broken and desperate, with nothing to offer her but empty lies. As for me, I rebuilt my life. Slowly, painfully, but with strength I didn't know I had. I turned that house, the house he tried to steal, into a sanctuary. A place not of betrayal but of rebirth. I filled it with laughter again, with friends, with family who reminded me every day of my worth. And one day, standing in the doorway of my own home, I realized something powerful. He hadn't just lost the house. He had lost me. And that was something no mistress could ever replace. Sparkle's message. Never let betrayal define you. Even in the darkest heartbreak, there is always strength waiting to rise. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't anger, it's rebuilding your life so beautifully that the one who hurt you can never touch your peace again.